Roger, watching TVC Breakfast. Now, after weeks of speculations and anxiety, the long-awaited ministerial list was released on Thursday by President Bola Tinubu, beating the 2-month deadline. The list, which was presented by the President's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, contained 28 names comprising of former governors, lawmakers, technocrats who are expected to help the President achieve his renewed hope agenda for Nigeria. Now, today, the Senate is expected to scrutinize and screen the character and ability of every nominee to ensure he or she aligns with the President's agenda for the country. Now, Nigerians are still anticipating more nominees to be released by the President in coming days. Before we dive into the discussion, let's refresh your mind in this package to when the President released the 28 ministerial nominees.
The Senate suspends its standing rule to admit a special visitor into the chamber. The Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Femi Gbajabiamila, is ushered into the Senate's plenary session to present President Tinubu's list of ministerial nominees.
Reading taken.
President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, then proceeds to call out the 28 names of the ministers designate as contained in the executive communication.
Of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I am pleased to forward to the Senate for confirmation the underlisted 28 ministerial nominees. 1. Abubakar Momo, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Chuka, CON. 3. Architect Ahmad Dangiwa. 4. Barrister Hanatu Musawa. 5. Chief Uche Naji. 6. Dr. Beta Edu.
Reacting to the content of President Tinubu's ministerial nominees, lawmakers commend the President for meeting the deadline. However, they say the screening of the nominees would not be business as usual.
I believe that by this weekend, we'll have the CVs. But I'm personally pleased with the caliber of men and women that have been nominated. But we can only conclude when we screen them. And if we find them worthy, why not? We'll confirm them. If we don't find them worthy, we're not going to confirm them.
Our business is to screen them, and then those who will be able to pass our screening should take a bow.
All these names you submitted, what are they going to do? Let's not approve people to become ministers and we take square pegs and put in round holes. We want to match them with their capacities.
The Senate has a tradition that if you were once a senator, you would have been screened to become a senator, and so that suffices. But in any case, it doesn't stop any senator from asking the relevant questions where it becomes necessary.
At the nick of time, President Bola Tinubu's ministerial list got to the National Assembly, but the wait is not over yet as more names will be sent in due course. Also, the ball is now in the court of the Senate to screen these ministers and allow President Tinubu inaugurate the Federal Executive Council. TVC News, Abuja.
Joining us in the studio is convener Campaign for Dignity in Governance, Rasak Olokooba. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning.
Welcome. Great. And we also have lawyer, political analyst, Adedotun Ajolo. It's nice to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Dotun. Welcome. Great. Now, today is the D-Day for for screening of the ministerial nominees, and Nigerians, all the while, there was pressure on the presidency. Will he beat the 60 days deadline? One will just less than about 24 hours to go. They beat the deadline, but the list was not complete, as Nigerians would have expected. 41 or 42 names, and somehow we're still expecting about 11 or 13 or 12, thereabout, depending on what lists are given. Well, let me start with you, Rasak. What do you make of the fact that there was a delay up until the last minute and then the lists were not complete?
Thank you very much, Mike. The important thing is that we should be giving the right person. It needs to be meticulous. And accuracy and precision matters at the point we are in our life. I have always cherished what APC does in terms of a challenging moment like this. And that is why other political parties, we have to learn from them. They have an internal mechanism on how to resolve their crisis. At the point at which the chairman just left, the secretary just left, you should have time to talk about a list of nominees for ministerial appointment. If you place it side by side with other political parties, they may not be talking about ministerial list now. They may be begging for more time. So, and that is why the capacity they have to do that should also be put to play in the remaining names. I won't encourage anybody to say that they should rush in getting more names to it. The time we need people who understand the job most in our life is now. So any few days, one more week that will require the man to do a 4-year job may not be bad. So for me, I am okay for a few more days, for one more week. I don't know what the loss is, but I am sufficiently informed to know that once we get the first stage to be the deadline, others can then follow. No law has been broken already. So we have a lawyer here to put more light on that. But as political scientists, I understand that the end was always justify the means. What's the need for the rush? People say you have so many. There are things that emerge on a daily basis. And the way we structure the political space in Nigeria is in such a way that a lot of people might be doing investigation about all the ministerial lists. Petition might be flying in. So party officials will be very careful in pushing aside the petition, only for you to emerge after one month or 2 months in office. So for me, and it's the same Nigerians that will come back, you didn't do your work very well. So I want the party to be meticulous. The point we are now is not point for excuse again. Every minute counts in Nigeria. We're talking about devolution of power. That there's no guarantee for Nigeria to prosper if they don't devolve power to stay to be stronger than the center. So attention is focused on that. There's ECOWAS angle, which I've just discussed here again, which is also another thing that will determine the success of this government. Because all our effort, all this while, in the ECOMOG, strengthening the ECOMOG, is about to resurface its head again. And for people who sell guns all over the world, it's not only France. Every gun seller all over the world are not happy with Nigeria. The way we keep nipping crisis in the border all over Nigeria, when you put up ECOMOG, they are not happy with us. So that challenge is there. So we need people who understand how to do the job. NS is going on strike. So people have an understanding of what to do is what we need. We don't want to rush and do a garbage in and also do a garbage out now. So for me, take a few more days to get the list. And the Senate, we don't want to be disappointed. Let them ask the right question. Let them do the right thing.
We'll come to that because a lot of persons have said, well, I hope we'll be having you take a bow and go, take a bow and go, take a bow. But we'll talk about that because if you listen to what Senator said earlier, they'll be thorough. They use the word thorough.
Yeah.
So we wait to see that. Now, Dr. Still remaining on this issue of delay. By February 25th, that election was concluded and the results came out after that time. Of course, if you've been declared a winner, you know that there are responsibilities. Keep the petitions aside. The point is you've been declared the winner. You look forward to ministers. Of course, it will begin to cross your mind what your cabinet will look like. From from that time until through the inauguration up until now, it's about 5 months thereabout. And Nigerians expect that somebody of the personality of Tinubu should have had that kind of list long ago. But I will wait for you to, I'll give you the chance to respond to this. Let's go on a short break and then we'll come back. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast.